The Federal and New South Wales governments are set to finalise a support package for lockdown residents of Greater Sydney today. The Health Minister says economic and mental health support will be completed shortly to assist people through that period. Joining me live now is Georgie Harman, the CEO of Beyond Blue. Georgie, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. What do you hope this package includes?
Well, look, I think it's fantastic that the indications are that it's going to both address economic stress and mental stress, because those are two sides of the same coin. They really influence one another. So we're hoping that the mental health side of the package really targets those who are already doing it tough, people who in casualised work, people who already live with mental health conditions, creating pathways for them to maintain their continuity of care and contact with their treatment teams in a safe way. We also hope that there's some targeting around multicultural communities, because we know that language barriers and stigma in particular are very, very prevalent in those communities. And we want everybody in New South Wales to know that organisations like Beyond Blue are there for them 24/7 with translated services. No problems too big or small. And it's time now to put any self-shame aside. If you're struggling, reach out for support. The earlier you do that, the better.
So when you're talking about translated services, is that a phone number that people can call, or are there special clinics that you think need to be set up in those areas where English may not be a primary language?
Well, look, Beyond Blue runs a 24/7 coronavirus support service. It's funded by the Commonwealth Government, and we've got counsellors ready to take people's calls. If people call and English is not their first language, they can request a translator, and we can get that through the National Translation Service. So we can make sure that that's a useful call to that person. We also have a digital site, coronavirus.beyondblue.org.au, and on that site there's mental health information translated into 64 languages.
What sort of an uptick in calls has Beyond Blue noticed in the past couple of days, Georgie?
Well, in fact, it's a little bit sort of bouncing around at the moment, but in the first 16 days of the lockdown in New South Wales, demand from New South Wales to our support services was 17% higher than the previous 3 months. So it is on the rise. And it's, in a sense, Pete, that's a good thing, because we do want people to be reaching out for support, for counselling support. We can provide that free, immediate reassurance, get people a plan in place, make referrals onto other services, and just reassure people that the feelings that they're feeling are absolutely perfectly normal for the circumstances that they're living through.
I mean, I suppose this is an obvious question, but what are the difficulties that you're finding that people are having?
Look, the ongoing stress of living with uncertainty is the thing that's really getting to people. It's really tough. It's understandably very challenging for people, as we're realising there's more to come. And what does that look like? For a lot of people, they're struggling sleeping, they're irritable, they're starting to withdraw, they're starting to feel a sense of hopelessness about the future. And our message to them is, let's control the things we can control. As human beings, we love being in control. We're hardwired to crave that certainty. So, going to bed at the same time, eating as healthily as we can, avoiding drinking too much alcohol. And the biggest, one of the most powerful tools we have right now is social connection. And that is challenging given the physical distancing requirements. But checking in on your loved ones, checking in on your neighbours, checking in on that person who lives in the apartment block with you or down the street, who don't have the support networks. Social connection is so important, and we can do that both digitally and face-to-face outside when it's safe to do so.
Do you think the New South Wales government has got the measures right so far?
Well, look, I mean, I'm a Melburnian, so I'm going to leave that commentary to other people. I think the narrative and the competitiveness of we did this better than you is actually really unhelpful for people mentally at the moment. It's adding to their mental load. And we also see that kind of sentiment and that kind of commentary through all of our channels. So the moment the bickering starts, the moment the comparisons start, that's when people actually start to, it adds to people's worry and stress.
Okay. Georgie Harman, the CEO of Beyond Blue, joining us live this morning. Georgie, thanks for your time. Good to talk.
Pleasure.